Match with a good sell for the game. Honestly, like, there's so many things about Mortal Kombat 11 that I don't like right now, right? I do not like the crushing blows and how it seems like almost random about when they trigger. Like, I understand there is a definitive way to make them trigger, but when you're playing it, it doesn't look like you're intending to hit those crushing blows, and that kind of thing bothers me. 6 months in a row, Mr. Blatter, thank you very much. Whoa. So I don't like the crushing blow thing, right? And how it seems kind of random. Thank you. I also don't like that dash block is still not in the game, and that they made it primarily walk based. Like, to me, that's not as fun. A game that is like limiting even more movement is not as interesting to me. Zoning, obviously, I love zoning, but when all the characters have good zoning, that's not as fun, right? Like, you only want to have, in my opinion, good fighting games are ones where there's only a couple of good zoning options from like certain characters. Like, you know, you go up against this character, that's like a zoning character, so you got to deal with zoning. Like, for example, you play Street Fighter, you can play against a Sagat or a Guile, you're like, all right, I got to deal with this zoning, you know? But you go up against like Zangief, you know you're not going to deal with any zoning. But in this game, I feel like there are, from what we've seen at least so far, there's only 7 characters out of like probably like 20 something, right? There seems to be a lot of good zoning already, and there's still going to be other variations of characters, which the commentators hinted at that there might be more zoning options, which it sounds like that's what you would do, right? So I don't like that part of it either. The meter being something you don't really earn, but just something you just spend, and it just comes back by itself. I don't like the idea of that. I have to see how it plays out, but to me, I don't like the idea of it. It just seems like it's too casual for me, right? It seems too casual. It's like, throw out your EX whenever you have it, and hope that it comes back. Krim says it feels like those mobile fighting games that are based around cooldowns. Yeah, it's kind of like that, right? Because it's like, just do it. It'll come back. And then if you have a good zoning character, right, you just throw out the EX. Zone, zone, zone. Okay, my meter's back. Throw out the EX. Zone, zone, zone. Throw out the EX. Zone, zone, zone. Right? And like, in that way, it seems kind of similar to the old way. Yeah, and it's like, because before, you know, you still have to zone, zone, zone to build meter, but now you can just stand, 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 and EX again, right? It's very odd, right? They took away the combo breaker, which I think is probably a good change, but honestly, I think combo breaker made for some hype moments in MKX, because you would see the meter building, right? You'd be like, oh god, he needs 2 meter to combo break, and he's gonna get it right before the combo kills. Like, boom, combo break. All right, how's he gonna still win after this, right? It made for some exciting moments. So I'm a little bit sad at the combo breaker being gone, especially because there's not really an option. Now it's like, oh, he got hit by some shit, he's dead, you know? They added in the flawless block, which sounds like a cool mechanic, right? Because you could have these situations where I thought you have like less than a pixel this game. If you block normals, it does chip damage, and you can just be like, flawless block, flawless block, flawless block. It'll look like a third strike parry, and you know, you'll make this amazing comeback with a punish. But then 16-bit said it's just reduced chip damage. I feel like if it's so hard to do, make it have no chip damage, right? I mean, why not? And then if it's too easy to do, make it harder to do and make it no chip damage. The fact that you can still die from it after flawless blocking seems really stupid to me, right? Like, you did this hard-ass thing, and you still died. Like, I like the idea of it for, like, something... Like, the example they gave was, Scorpion does an EX teleport. You know that it's safe on block. But since when you EX it, the second hit comes out after, you can maybe block the first one, and then try to just block the second one to make it unsafe. That's a cool high-level strategy, right? So I like that part about it. The throws, if you break the throw wrong, Like, if somebody tries to throw you and you take the throw, fine, right? But if you try to tech the throw and you tech the throw wrong, that might trigger a crushing blow, and that makes the throw do like 30%. That sounds kind of rough, man. Because, like, I'm telling you, like, this isn't a game like Tekken where you can visually see the difference between the throws, right? It's not like you saw, oh, he did a forward grab that time or a back grab this time. So when you see a throw, it's either guess a tech, eat more damage, or take the throw, which is kind of weird. I don't think I like that either. They're changing a lot of things. It's kind of hard to judge without understanding the whole meta of this game. I agree, but I can tell you there's a lot of it that seems too casual to me. There's a lot of it that I did not like from MKX and Injustice 2 that are in this game that I also didn't like, right? Like, for example, the gear system making a comeback, right? Gear system making a comeback and having these extra moves now as a casual, that was not interesting to me at all in Injustice 2. And even when it was interesting to me, like, Superman had some cool things. I remember he had some cool moves. I was like, this move is fucking sick. You know, he had like a fat ass heat zap that went across the screen. You couldn't duck. He had a mid heat zap that did chunks on block, right? Like, there was that kind of shit. I was like, this is amazing. But I couldn't play it against anybody, so it wasn't even useful to me. It was cool to see it. Like, I played it like twice. I was like, oh yeah, neat. Never again, right? So I don't know, man. It's like, I'm not the guy who is sitting at home with his family playing Mortal Kombat, you know, with his brothers or something, and saying like, dude, I'm gonna hit you with fat heat zap. He's like complaining. Like, maybe that could be a lot of fun, right? Which of the MKX characters do you hope to see in 11? MKX characters? They can all go to hell. Jackie Briggs, Takeda, Bong Jitsu, Kung Jutsu, Kung Jin. Fucking kill all those characters. Bring me back to MK9 roster. Alright? Yeah, fuck the combat kids. Exactly. I don't want none of those whack-ass characters. Give me Jax back, you know? New storyline. Jax killed Jackie. Rejoice. You know? Yeah, dude. Most of the... I mean, I'm trying to think. Were there any new characters in MKX that I was like, that shit was amazing? When I say like that too, I'm talking about like the new good guys. Kotal Kahn was a pretty cool character. Aaron Black, I didn't really like him. I thought he didn't fit in MK. He looked like a guy who fell out of Red Dead Redemption. Like, hey, the fuck is going on here? All right, I'll come fight. You know, like, it just didn't make any sense to me. Devora, yeah, she was kind of cool. MK9 had no newcomers. Is that right? I don't remember. So long ago, man. MK9 was literally like a decade ago, wasn't it? That was forever. Maybe it was 8 years ago. I don't know. It was a long ass time ago though. MK9 at Kratos, that don't count. Scarlet, I guess. I feel like Scarlet was in an older MK though. Yeah, I think the character Aaron Black is alright, but I don't feel like he looked like an MK character to me. You think they will stuff Geralt or Rivia? I don't know what that is. Oh, Geralt of Rivia into MK? No. No. If they have anybody that's a weird DLC character, I made a tweet about this. But the trailer for John Wick 3 came out today, right? So, I was like, dude, John Wick 3. John Wick could be in Mortal Kombat. You know, he's got guns and he's super violent. You know, that would make sense to me as a character. And he has a lot of hand-to-hand combat with guns. So I thought John Wick would have fit into Mortal Kombat pretty darn good. So you're saying that Aaron Black is like Negan? I would agree with that statement, except I don't know anything about Negan. Yeah, exactly. That's and Garrett Tolan, see, you nailed it right there. He's like John Wick with the sledgehammer variation. That's why the variations are whack to me too, man. Like, I don't like the concept of variations in general. You know, like, just not a fan of them, man. I just want to know, like, I'm playing Sub-Zero. These are the 4 tools I have to deal with. You know what I mean? I don't want to know, like, what Sub-Zero am I playing? Is this the one with the sledgehammer? Is this the one with the giant ball? Is this the one that has popsicles? You know, I don't fucking know. It's just, they're just useless to me. I want to just deal with one character. I don't want to deal with all this other bullshit. And all the other variations, too, they never feel like the character to me. You know, like, imagine if you did this in Tekken, right? Like, Oh, here's martial law. This martial law has a flip kick, but he doesn't have a slide mix-up. Oh, are you going to use slide mix-up variation martial law? Cool. All right. How about, you know, back turn pressure and 8-frame jab martial law? Would you use that one instead, or do you want to use the slide mix-up law? Like, why do I have to choose? Just let me pick my fucking character. You know, why do I only have to limit myself repeatedly or have these weird-ass options? Yeah, this law has back 1-2-1, but no DSS, you know? Yeah, this law has DSS, but he's got no slide mix-up. That's what it'd be, right? Back is like counter hit law, DSS law, or slide mix-up law. Which one do you want to choose? I don't know. I'm a law player, but fucking, I just want to play law. And then when you go on against law, like, which law am I playing against? God, I hate the fucking back 1-2-1 law. Like, yeah, it's like, I don't know, man. The question is, are we going to have cross-platform support? I think NRS is usually pretty good about trying to make those things happen. Like, if there's a new technology that they can use, they generally try to help it along, right? They have the money, and they put the money into doing stuff like that. So, if anyone's going to do it, it would be them. But I also think it might be one of those things that's too new for the game. So, like with MKX, the game came out, and the netcode was trash. And then, I think it was 6 months later, they patched it with good netcode. So, like, super late, after all the DLC came out, MKXL, whatever, they released a free beta that had the new netcode in it, right? And that was a good addition. They took that new netcode and put it into Injustice 2. Hopefully, that same netcode carries over to MK11 because it was great. So, you know, it's one of those things where they could release it and then 6 months later say, by the way, here's cross-platform play. I could definitely see NRS doing that over, like, you know, Tekken or Capcom or something, or any of the other smaller fighting game developers.
Hey, by the way, I have a t-shirt for sale.
Wow, why am I so big here? You guys see it? It look it like this. Nice, huh?